Welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting together side by side for financial freedom. Let's go ahead and take another quick look here at JASMY. It's been 2 weeks, I guess, since my last update. And it's not because I didn't want to come and update you guys or I've just turned bearish here on JASMY. It's just because I am working to try and finish my master's thesis right now, and I tend to spend like a lot of time in the laboratory and trying to work on those experiments. But when all has been said and done, I think that we have to come back to the JASMY price set here and see how the whole structure is looking like here. But apparently I think we're looking very much bullish. It doesn't feel like that, I have to say, but if you just look at everywhere and all the indications that you need for a bullish setup, I think JASMY is very much primed for that. Now, we've been talking about this for a very, very long time, but really it feels at this point that the market is really just waiting for one thing to trigger, and then off and away we're going. So we're going to be talking about a lot of different charts today, but before I start, I want to kindly ask you to help me spread the video by delicately tapping the like button. It will of course tell the YouTube algorithm that yes, this video is short and straight to the point, but it is exactly what you want in this moment. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, because I do TA on JASMY and a number of other different altcoins on a regular basis. And just as I've been saying that we're going to be getting into a period in which the market is going to be ultimately bullish here, I think you don't want to be missing all those updates. So let's just get it rolling. I don't want to run my mouth too much. So what you see here is total 2. Basically, this is the market cap of altcoins, and the market cap of Bitcoin is not included here. Now what you see is that ever since we've bottomed out here back in 2022, we've gone back to revisit the all-time highs that we had back then in 2021. But really, if you think about it, the feeling is very much different to what it was back here. It actually feels like we are in a bear market, and I don't know why that is the case, really, that people are not very much optimistic when we are pretty much at all-time highs. And I would actually guess that the market is just waiting to have a very huge push. I'll show you a structure that is very much recent, which does, exactly that. And I'll just connect it back to the JASMY price chart and show you why that is actually very much important. But this is very, very good because we are looking at altcoins, not only Bitcoin setting a new all-time high, but altcoins in general just going ahead and do something much more special, right? Now, much more importantly, we're also looking at this total 3 market cap, and this is now not including Ethereum. So you see that this index is also very much poised with a very beautiful bullish pattern here, which is a cup and handle formation. And you guys know the deal with cup and handle formations. When you want to take a look at your technical price target, you're looking at the thickest part here, or the deepest part, I should say, of the cup. Then at a breakout level, you're looking to pump here maybe at 300%. So altcoins, excluding Ethereum, are also very much poised for a big breakout right there. Now, this is very much important because this is also where JASMY happens to reside, right? So if I may just go ahead and clear these drawings and then come back here to plug in the JASMY price set, I want to show you almost 100% correlation that you see there. I mean positive correlation. So down below here in blue, we have got the JASMY price set, and then on top here where we have got the candles, this is the total market cap of altcoins excluding Ethereum. And you see that these things pretty much move right in step, almost like in the same time, right? Yeah, there is a little bit of a lag, maybe like a day or two or something like that, but other than that, they pretty much move along, right? So once again, you realize that whatever JASMY does is not even related to the project itself, but rather the liquidity in the market, the general liquidity in the market. And here's the thing: once we are getting back to breakout levels here on the very top and breaking this resistance, be rest assured that JASMY is going to be working up and also breaking out very much violently in here. So this is the thesis that, look, I mean, despite the JASMY project maybe looking good or bad, whatever the case may be, it just needs the rest of the market so that it can start pumping as well. And it appears that we have got that condition right now. I think it's very much unlikely that we have had all, this momentum back to the top and then the price just goes on ahead and gets projected. It'll be very, very unlikely. I mean, it's so rare that you see charts do something like that. I think the most common thing here is that you see the price really pushing towards the upside one more time. I promised an example, and that was the Bitcoin price. Recently, I think it was a month ago, we saw it do something exactly like what we have been discussing with the total market cap of altcoins, including Ethereum and also excluding Ethereum. And you see it right here, right? So that soon after it had broken the previous all-time high back then in 2021, there was this violent, huge breakout. I think there was like a $7,000, candle in one day or something like that, but this was really, really huge. I think that when the other indexes start moving like that, we're going to be seeing JASMY go ahead, maybe even pump 20%, 30% in less than 24 hours or something like that, because that's just how the dynamics of the market is. I hope you understood that very much clearly, that it's not really complicated. The market is looking like it's just waiting for something, to crack, and then we are breaking those resistances, and off and away we are going, right? Positive, almost 100% positive correlation with JASMY. And then on top of that, we are looking at the Fed potentially, I think more likely than not, cutting rates tomorrow. Now, this is really something that is big for the market, because this has been anticipated for a very, very, very long time. I remember back in 2022, I was still in college and I had an internship. Obviously people were interested in trading cryptocurrencies and other stock markets by then. And when I was doing my internship, like, we were trading with the engineers and stuff like that. And one of them was saying that, crypto won't do anything unless and until there is a little bit of rate cut. And we were back then in 2022. Now, the stock market and crypto as well has risen towards the top with, little to no rates being cut. But the market has really, really decided that when these cuts happen, this is when the market is going to be whipping. So I think that it's going to be much more like a self-fulfilling prophecy, because it's something that has been waited upon for a very, very long time. I think we see an instant pump in the market, but I think that it's going to be happening over a very short space of time. And then we'll begin a bear market. I mean, it sounds very weird and complicated, but then again, if you think about it, with all other events that we have seen in the market, it's either you really pump hard towards that event, and then all of a sudden after the event is done, you crash, or you don't pump before the event, you pump right after the event, but it's going to be short-lived, right? So I think that the market is going to be doing just fine. People are waiting for those rate cuts to be officialized, and then we're going to be moving towards the upside here with JASMY and the rest of the market, as you saw with that correlation. But coming back to JASMY, immediate short term also, I think it's very much obvious that we are still following this falling wedge. It has taken longer, obviously. This one didn't quite hit its price target because we're expecting it to go all the way up to 2 cents. But this one, definitely the price target is the top of that, which is also 2 cents. But I think this is just the beginning of the story, because as you can see, once we peaked right around 6 cents, we've had a huge drop towards the downside. However, the price has actually managed to create a resistance right here. But the thing that is very much encouraging right there is that when the price has been rejected, for example here, once, twice, maybe thrice here, the price has not been dipping that further down. So if you take a look at this drop from this rejection here, it was as big as like minus 60%, right? Then again, you got rejected one more time from that resistance, and the price only dumped like 52%, 51%, we can say. The third time the price was rejected, it dumped right around like a 36%, I would say. And then, of course, the last time that we got this rejection here, the JASMY price has dumped like 30%. So you can see that you can conclusively say that the bears are kind of losing momentum towards, this resistance. And with that, I think when we eventually break above 2.2 cents here for JASMY, it's going to be a very quick move towards the upside. And yeah, I know a lot of people are not as optimistic as I am, but I'm not going to be changing because the rest of the world is not as optimistic as I am. I think we really are poised for something big to happen in the markets. And as long as we revisit these areas here, it's going to be an easy way out here. Let me talk a little bit of price targets, because I think that, we don't have to go any further. If we take reference of the last peak that we had back then, I think it was 2024 in December, or maybe November, I really don't remember. But if we take that reference and then towards the bottom here, what we are looking for are two specific price targets here. Number one, an extension, meaning the, first level that you visit after setting a previous high. This is right around 9.3 cents here for JASMY. I'm very much optimistic on that. Then, of course, we look at the best possible, which is also right around 23 cents. So I think these are the immediate price targets that I'm going to be looking at, and also looking to take profits right there. But of course, I mean, at some point we have been talking about price targets as high as like 32 cents. We will see what eventually happens with those ones. But I mean, if we want to be staying very, very much conservative here, 9.3 cents, 23 cents are price targets that I'm looking forward to. It also depends on how quick this bull run wraps up, but I think we're getting towards the end. Now, that statement may be taken like it's a bad one, but also at the same time, problem is that you're going to be collecting your money real quick here for Jasmy. So whatever the case may be, I think that the market is going to be looking for some kind of a catalyst maybe tomorrow when the Fed cuts, and we're going to be seeing either a huge one towards the upside, or we're going to be seeing the beginning of the bear market. Whatever the case may be, we'll wait and see what eventually happens there. But I think my opinion and my side is that we are going to be whipping towards the upside with Jasmy and the rest of the market, just as I showed you with that correlation right there. I want to thank you so much for watching the video. If you could, please delicately tap the like button, share the video with your friends and family, and I'll see you on the next one. Take really, really good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.